exciting. I'm so excited for you. This has been in the making for a while. Tijuana Jackson, Purpose Over
Yes.
Prison. I mean, and next
Yes,
week is like the big release. So I
it
want
is.
you to tell me just about your vision behind this character and how he came to fruition.
This character came to fruition because I wanted to figure out a way to educate a demographic that has never been taught objectively about economics, finance, business finance, personal development, introspection, mental health. I wanted to figure out a way back in 1999 to educate that demographic. That demographic being the poor demographic. I was blessed with the opportunity to live in the projects, but also to live in trailer parks. I lived in the Caribbean. I've lived in the countryside of the Caribbean, and I've also, growing up, and I've also lived in the town and like even poorer areas of the Caribbean. I lived in lower middle class family households in Texas. And what I realized was that's really stood out was when I would go back and forth from Trinidad to the US, is that in Trinidad and Tobago, no matter how poor you were, no matter how wealthy you are, no matter where you lived, you got a good education. And in the United States, it became really clear that, you know, if you were poor, you got a poor education. If you were wealthy, you got a better education. And this is not even bringing up the conversation around segregation. So that being said, my goal was to take all the things that we were not afforded in poor communities and like use this character and all this humor to get these kids to, or these young adults, you know, to open their minds to. And it was successful. Within 2 episodes of, back then, you know, I was doing something on Justin TV, which was how we live stream, because all these platforms didn't have live stream features. And I was doing it through Justin TV. And within a couple episodes, we had a full page write-up in the New York Times.
Wow.
And
so where was just Justice TV or
Justin, JUSTIN.TV.
And where do people watch that then?
On Justin TV, you'd literally log into Justin, and you'd have your little chat room on the side, you know, but you know, it's closed down. And then there are some of the live streaming platforms that have managed to sustain, you know, and things have evolved, such as Zoom. But yeah, you'd have your little chat room on the side and everybody would be commenting and you could see what was working. But, you know, and TJ just talking about personal development, talking about making money, talking about the difference between achieving things and achieving fulfillment. You know, it was,
and he was funny. You made it very funny.
Well, that's the Trojan horse. The whole point of it is that we would use humor. I was using humor as the Trojan horse to get me to get the attention of people who wouldn't consider us otherwise, and also to get onto platforms that wouldn't consider us otherwise, at which point we could then address deeper issues.
Because also then, you know, now you are a household name. Back then you weren't, right? No. I mean, you weren't as much, so you had to kind of like wedge your way in there and get yourself seen. So that says a lot.
But there's another dynamic. Because of the dynamic that I wanted to reach, I was considered corny. So they wouldn't take it from me. So you have to create this dude, this ex-convict, the most institutionalized person you know, telling you how to liberate yourself. That irony in itself made way for them to be like, I'll never forget the first day that this character was ripped off of YouTube and uploaded. Someone ripped it and uploaded it to World Star Hip Hop. And the caption said, this dude's been through a lot. They didn't even know it was me.
Wait, that's really funny. They didn't, well, you know what? It's the teeth. You know, it's hard for a second. How'd you come up with the teeth, by the way? I did want to ask you that.
I started out because I had a pair of teeth. I was walking down Venice Boulevard one day back in like 98, 99 and found these teeth. And that was kind of the birth of the character.
Those are so ratchet, those teeth.
They are. And then I started getting them more refined because I wanted the character to be more believable.
Yeah.
At which point I found a guy. I went to a place in Hollywood and asked them to make me a specific type of teeth. I designed them out. Yeah. They kind of undermined my request and just gave me a pair of Austin Powers teeth and wanted to charge me $10,000 for them. And I was like, huh? And then I went online and started doing searching and found a guy in Nebraska who would make exactly what I wanted because he really made prosthetic teeth for people.
Yeah.
And he's like, it's like $42. What do you want? And man, I've spent thousands of dollars with this dude.
That's so LA. Oh my gosh, that's like so LA. Here's 10 grand. Nebraska, $40.
Exactly. And look, and so here's the ones I use for the movie.
Wait, can you smile? Yeah, those are ratchet. Wow, those are good.
For real though. And then you pull out, I was smoking all these fake herbal cigarettes the whole time. So it's like it really, you change your eyes and you just kind of.
How do you talk with them in? Like
it's easy. They hold on.
Or do you just have practice doing it?
They just hold on. I don't have to do nothing. It's all there. It's like, no, really.
So what I also
it's professionally made.
By the way, is that also made it so easy for you to slip into character. You literally just slipped into character for 30 seconds without even trying, like without even thinking.
That's the whole point. It's like, I've been doing this forever, but I realized that all the little props, all these little things really contribute to you feeling the space. And one of the things that I do, I don't think people talk about this, is I stand in for myself a lot. And the reason, when I do my show, when I do movies, and the reason is because I want to feel the room. I want to get comfortable in the room. And when that happens, my performances are just better. And so that means every little detail. And so if you notice, when I put the teeth in, my eyes change, right? There's a different, this guy, here's a different look. That he's a little concerned with how he's being judged, and the stillness of the one-on-one makes him uncomfortable. So he finds distractions through a cigarette, and he's got a little twitch with it. And in his eyes, this is like making him cool all of a sudden. And he's constantly talking because he feels more empowered. He's managing his stress. It's called stimming, really, for like autistic children will repeat things. It's called stimming. Well, he's got his own version of that. And maybe even a little on the spectrum, so.
Totally. Oh, I could see that. That's good. That's really good. And I'm thinking about people that can't see this right now. I will upload this video to YouTube so you can see it, everybody. Everyone should know my YouTube handle, Red Carpet Rendezvous, but you got to see this. You got to see the teeth. You got to see the whole persona of Tijuana Jackson. And you will be able to see it next week. Because it comes out worldwide or nationally next week.
It comes out nationally. It'll be on iTunes, Apple TV, Google Play. It'll also be on Amazon Video on Demand, pretty much any video VOD platform. It'll be on Vudu.
Okay.
You can.
It's actually in some drive-ins right now.
Right now, it's starting today. It's actually in some drive-ins across America. I can actually tell you where they are. It's Florida. I wonder why, but it's Florida. It's Maitland, Florida. There's even a place in California. There's Georgia. There's 3 locations in Georgia: the Atlanta Film Festival in Georgia, the Plaza Theater in Georgia, the Plaza Drive-In. There's also Baltimore, Maryland. There's a couple places, the Charles Theater in Baltimore, Maryland, the Senator Theater in Baltimore, Maryland. There's Ohio, there's Portland, there's Washington. So look up Tijuana Jackson.
A theme also, like basically the rest of the country's like, we're in a pandemic in the world, and like Georgia and Florida are like, we do what we want, basically. So here,
I do what I want. You can't tell me.
That's great. Did you plan before COVID for a national theatrical release, or were you just kind of planning to put it out on demand, like so many film companies are doing right now?
Yeah, I still own my film. I still have ownership. I still hold on to the lion's share ownership of my film. And I've always been a bit forward thinking in that regard. So my goal was always to make a film that people would watch on their phones. Cool. That was my goal with this. I wanted people to look at this on their phones and be like, okay, I get that. And what ended up happening was, in the process of making the film and keeping it nice and small, we had COVID-19, which stripped away theaters. And then we had the protests. And all of this kind of led to, wow, everything that's going on right now, as far as the protests go, is what this character's been talking about for 20 years.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That is crazy. And then, on top of that, you have, hey, Carlos, can you hold it down? Daddy's doing an interview, okay? Do you mind just holding it down for a little bit? And then my little man just singing all his backyardigans.
That's really sweet.
Oh, it's hilarious. It's hilarious. And so COVID-19 kind of stripped away the theaters, which, set the stage for a pocket movie, which is what I like to call it.
That's
and
cool.
then everything that's happening in the protests kind of set the stage, because this is, this movie addresses, unjust incarceration of nonviolent criminals pretty head on. And
I like that, the pocket movie, by the way. That's really good. I haven't heard that before. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it's because I didn't think that people would be comfortable sitting in a theater laughing at the twisted humor that me and Regina Hall are spitting out here. It's twisted, man.
That's so interesting you say that, how people are like, or somebody, like even like white people are like, oh, I want to laugh, but can I laugh? Is that rude? I don't know. Because I feel like that sometimes where I'm like, I don't think I should laugh, because who am I to laugh? I don't know. So maybe you're right.
Yeah.
Comfort in my own home.